This is the team from The Lord of the Rings of Power.
And this is the Deadline Studio.
At Prime Experience.
You are granted rings of power. What do they give you access to?
Well, I make them, so I'll
No.
move through
Oh,
that
do you mean
question.
like in a hypothetical world?
In a hypothetical situation, what would your rings of power
Oh.
give you access
I think I'd like access to Charlie Vickers' head.
Yeah.
Brain,
Okay,
you know,
nice
just
to
to
see
really
what's going
understand
on
what's
in
going
there.
on.
The
Yeah. Then I
pain.
could second guess you. It's the pain. Oh, buddy. I'm always here for you. Always
Thanks,
here.
man.
Always.
I'm quite keen on invisibility.
Yes.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah. I'd like flight.
Nice.
Like-
Yeah, thanks.
I'd like driverless car. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
ability
Funny,
to
funny
go-
you should mention that.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't want to do an ad.
Charles, Celebrimbor has this slow descent into madness this season, thanks to the influence of Sauron. Talk more about how you approached his descent in this storyline in the season.
Well, I appeared very little in season 1, and but the moments I was there, I was trying to set him up for the fall that I knew was coming. So I tried to show his vanity, his pride, and his ambition, all those things. He is a good being, essentially. He wants to do good. However, he has a little devil on his shoulder, which is the spirit of his grandfather, who has achieved wonderful things, and he's always trying to achieve something that he never quite will be able to do. And then this guy shows up and says, "No, I can help you with that." So his fall is through his own hubris and
It's all his own
ambition. And then he kind of stirs the pot.
Nothing to do with me.
Charlie, Sauron gets a new look, a new hairdo. Talk about how did this maybe influence your character at all, and how you portrayed him with those blonde locks.
Yeah, there's a bow in the back of his hair, which is like caused a bit of a stir, but that was just, I think we just did that because it looked cool.
It caused a big stir in the makeup truck.
Yeah, there is no meaning behind it.
When we
however.
first saw that bow, we were going, "Oh my god!" People are going to be going into hairdressers saying, "I want the Sauron."
I want that bow.
Nice.
The whole look was all for Charlie, for you personally.
Oh,
No,
Charlie.
it was for Celebrimbor, because Sauron this season, he is all about influencing Celebrimbor, and the greatest of elven smiths. It's like, what would an elf of this stature, what kind of person would he listen to? And so he wanted to create a character that had this sense of wisdom and power
And look good too.
yeah, glam, very glam.
Talk about your last moment on set, because it's interesting that Celebrimbor's like dying words kind of allude to Frodo, right? Talk about that and your last moment on set.
That was a great, a very challenging scene to do. Challenging only in the best way, though, because it was the culmination of the tale of the two of them together, and we were very lucky in our storyline, because we got to shoot everything in order, which is sort of unheard of, but that's the way the schedule fell, and so it felt like a real culmination of the story, and I was so pleased I didn't have to do that on day one and then go back to shoot other scenes. It would have been very weird.
So difficult.
Yeah, because we built it all. We built the story, and the characters we got them to where they were at that point, and so everything just came out. It was good. It was great.
And Daniel, finally, you can say you're Gandalf.
Yes.
Finally, after many months, many breaks in between filming. Yeah.
Well, it's still happening. That it's getting easier. It was very difficult even when we launched the show for season 2 to we did some of the sort of question and answer sessions after screenings, and I still couldn't say the word Gandalf, because I don't know, there's a sort of block, but it's lovely to be able to talk about it now. And what I really hold dear is the way that name was discovered for him, that it came about from this kind of forward projection of understanding what other people will call him, that this name has been found really by those he loves and by those who he helps and by those who he learns from, and not by him in some way claiming it in a kind of power grab for himself. And I think that was really humbling to read that, and really pleasing to get to play it in that way. I think he's felt the darkness that's enveloping Middle-earth. I think he's always wanted to do something about it, and his journey so far has been realising that it's not for him about controlling, it's more about sort of getting in touch with, being a conduit for energy in the universe for good. And so, yeah, I think he's got to get up out of that chair, he's got to take that staff, which I think is a new friend for him. I think he really connects with it. It's going to be helpful in connecting all this energy that's flowing, and he's got to start finding out where this darkness lies and doing something about it. I suppose I'm just hoping that Ian McKellen is taking notes from what I'm doing, and just knowing that he's going to pitch the right thing later, because I'm playing the origin. Really.
Or say, damn, why didn't I do it?
Yeah. No, I mean, no, of course not. I think the joy of the piece is that I was given a character who knew nothing at the beginning when he landed in Middle-earth, and all I had to do was to play each scene as it came, and that was like a little learning thing, little layers of knowledge, little layers of experience. I didn't need to worry about what was coming later. It's not the same character. It's thousands of years before. He'll get there, but I'm not playing that part at the minute. And so the joy has been just to work with great actors who I'm put on set with, work in these amazing locations, work with a fantastic crew who uber talented, everybody pulling in the same direction, to wear the costume, to wear the hair and makeup, and to listen to the directors, to go with the showrunner's story, and just to be on set and trust that it'll all come out. And I'm really pleased to do it.
Looking ahead to season 3, what are you most excited, either in your storylines or for characters to see? What do you hope?
I'll leave that to you guys.
Oh,
It's all right.
I know.
There's tears.
Spirit lives on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm excited for this plethora of possible pitfalls and errors and failings that young Gandalf can learn from. He could. I mean, literally anything could happen, because the only way we're going to see a wise being later on is if he does some pretty horrendous accidental things and puts his foot in the wrong places and has to pick it up and learn again, go again. So I'm hoping for lots of that kind of action, just so that we can see him develop and learn how he gets to the wizard that we all love.
And I'm incredibly lucky that Sauron in this time period is very specific what he does. So we get to go through so many exciting beats that I think the fans will be really excited to see. I mean, he has made nearly all the rings now, but there's one more that to finish the collection. So I'm super excited, to see him go on the journey and, hopefully take over Middle-earth, and everything will be great for everyone else.
How do you kind of physically train, if at all?
Yeah, I think it's not so much training for stunts, it's more just training to have that sort of physicality of a guy that is sort of a powerful being in Middle-earth. So I think it's as much about
Mind games?
Yeah, exactly. Toying with the opposition.
It's mental statistics.
It's like you can do so much through movement rather than having to work out, I guess. But I think there is an element of feeling really strong and grounded in your body, which can help when you're trying to play a character that has a sense of presence and power.
I thought they were really powerful. Those moments were really powerful where we saw Sauron just standing and doing the smallest sort of nuanced thing, and it had dramatic effects. I think that was really strong.
Thank you. Yeah. I think that's the kind of, he is, because he's inhuman, every movement is consequential. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's none of this kind of stuff that I'm doing, because that would be causing carnage if he was to do it.
What is the most challenging thing you've had to endure while playing these characters, either in trying to get a portrayal across the right way, or, I don't know, something that was just like, oh man, this is tough, but you got through it?
Good question.
I think the whole, just the way you said it there, it's tough, but we got through it. The storyline was tough, but we got through it by having a great sense of fun on the set when we weren't working. Well, we were working too, but there was a really friendly, happy atmosphere on that set. And it was felt by not only us, but everyone who was working on that storyline. Because it was very, it was just Charlie and I in that story. It did feel very kind of in a bubble from the rest of the show in a way. Mm-hmm. So it's everyone was very focused on it for the months that we were in there shooting, and the mood offset really sustained and informed what we were doing in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I think introducing the stranger to Tom Bombadil was a complete sort of left field for him. I think he'd got used to understanding the Harfoot world, where things were relatively small. It was about the trees that were here or weren't here, where they were going to get water, where they could eat. And then suddenly Tom Bombadil's world is different. It's not just the world, it's the solar system or a set of planets or the stars or the universe and time, which way time goes, whether it's up, down, left, forward, back. And trying to grapple to keep up with Tom, I think for The Stranger was incredibly difficult. And I don't think he's quite done it yet, but I'm sure there'll be other things that happen in the future. But understanding, being with another sort of eternal being rather than a Middle Earth being, I think it was a big step up for him.